Late last night, news regarding the Conservative Party of Canada leadership race regarding one of its candidates, Patrick Brown, was released by the party's LEOC chair, Ian Brody. And joining me now to discuss his disqualification from the leadership race by LEOC is Patrick Brown. Patrick Brown, thanks so much for making the time. Let's start out with the piece that I mentioned there. Obviously, LEOC, the Leadership Election Organizing Committee, as it's known, is the one who made this move to disqualify you from the leadership race. There's plenty of other candidates in the leadership race. I guess just to start out with a basic question, what does this mean for you personally and just in general for the Conservative Party that in a leadership race, one of its main candidates has been disqualified?
Well, certainly it's clear Pierre Poilievre's supporters got their way. They used their influence at LEOC to disqualify their main competition, and it's wrong. It should be up to party members to decide. Democracy shouldn't be interfered with in this manner. I really felt that we had a great path to victory, that we signed up over 150,000 new members, and I find it egregious what's happened. 150,000 plus Canadians who signed up for my campaign have been disenfranchised.
150,000 memberships is the figure that your campaign says it sold in regards to memberships. That is now 150,000 people who paid for membership. Where do you advise your supporters to go from here? Obviously, I know you are going to try your best to appeal this decision, but if that doesn't happen, where do you advise your supporters to go?
I think it's premature to make that decision, but right now I just want to underline that it is very disappointing that for many of the supporters we signed up who were voting in the Conservative Party for the first time, that their voice has been taken away.
In regards to that, Evan Solomon posted that one of the people on your campaign, that it wasn't a unanimous vote to disqualify you. I believe the result of the vote was 10-6. So is there anything in your view that your campaign can do to try to appeal this decision?
So we're looking at those options. Obviously, we've heard it was a very contentious LEOC meeting last night where the Poilievre folks got their way, but there were many members of the Leadership Election Committee who felt that this move was egregious and wrong.
And when you look at, you say that it was Pierre Poilievre supporters that wanted you out of this leadership race. When you actually look at the reasoning that LEOC and the LEOC chair Ian Brody give as to why you were disqualified from the race, it seems to be people are saying an allegation of financial wrongdoing. How do you respond to that?
Well, it's a flimsy allegation that has no basis. They said that someone working on my campaign was being paid by a company, but they wouldn't provide us information of who that was, how they were being, who was being paid, what business, and you can't respond to a phantom allegation.
When we look at what this means for the Conservative Party, they're now going to have one fewer candidate in the leadership race. That assuming that you aren't able to appeal this decision and for whatever reason get back in the leadership race, etc. But I guess just what does this tell you personally about the Conservative Party? Because I would imagine maybe your feelings around that have changed slightly now.
Well, I expected the Conservative Party to have a free and fair election, that we'd have a democracy within the party. And it's disappointing that we can't have a leadership election where the members get to decide.
You said earlier today that you believe you being disqualified from the leadership race is a win for Justin Trudeau. How so?
Well, I believe this leadership race was shaping up where I was going to be successful. If Justin Trudeau gets to run against Pierre Poilievre, he's going to have the easiest election of his life, to run against a candidate that wants to ban childhood vaccine mandates for polio and smallpox, who's running on an economic policy to use cryptocurrency to fight inflation, someone who has aligned with folks like Pat King, would be a gift to the Liberal Party.
And then just lastly, where do you go now? And obviously you're the mayor of Brampton right now. How will you serve Brampton residents in the midst of all of this? And again, just where do you go now?
So we're going to look at our options and make a decision, but obviously I'm going to speak to friends and family first.
Okay, that is Brampton Mayor Patrick Brown. Mayor Brown, thanks so much for your time as always.
Thank you.